Hey guys, just wanted to pop in and say hello with the newest little member of our family. This is Finn, everybody. And Finn is a typical puppy, a bit of a terror some days, but mostly we just love him. I want to jump in here and have a chat. So this is a conversation I like to have with the business people we're supporting, but it was a conversation that I thought I needed to have again with everybody that follows me. So look, there's no doubt with what's going on in the world right now and the political system and what we've come out of and just like taking in everything since 2008 on, really, right? It's difficult times out there, and it's caused a bit of a gut check for a lot of small business owners, for people that are maybe solopreneurs, people that are running bigger businesses. You might not even call it a gut check, you might call it a sphincter check or something of that nature, but it's tough out there. And like I had a chat with somebody the other day that literally she called up and said, Mike, I really need your help. I've got to figure this out. I haven't eaten in 3 days. Like I've literally got zero in my bank account. And you know, I think in some ways I'm quite fortunate in the fact that, I do have money tucked away, and if I didn't want to work, I could just attempt to ride this out. But I don't feel like if I did that, I'd be really serving anybody. Like I think, that would make me honestly a bit of an asshole. And I don't see myself as that type of person. So I wanted to pop on here and I wanted to chat to you about that. Right. When times are good, right? Like even when times are great and everybody's out there spending like we went through the 90s and early 2000s, when the economy is really, really good, even then people feel it's like kind of icky to sell, right? Like even back then when I was talking to people, people would be like, "Ah, I really don't want to sell." Right? It'd be nice if people just came up and handed me their credit card. Like it's like I don't like the idea of selling, and it's a bit icky. And now you look at the way the economy is now, and it's even a little bit more funky. It's not necessarily this great idea. And while people need to be out there selling today, it's even a bit feels a bit more than it's ever felt. And one of the things is you got to be able to put yourself out there, right? If you want, money to come in a time like this, you've got to be able to get out there and you got to close. You've got to make the sales. You've got to go out and close the deal. You got to get the handshake, the money signed on the paper. You've got to do those things. Same at the same point, by the way, you're not even going to get the chance to do those things if you can't put yourself out there, if you can't market yourself, if you can't, put together your offer and get it in front of people that would find it valuable. And when I asked people about that, like we didn't do much of that back during the tough times either. When we think about marketing, we didn't really get out there and really focus on putting it in front of people. We relied on word of mouth, and now we've got to put it in front of people because, it's tough out there. And now why do we not want to do it? Well, partly because we feel like we don't deserve it, or we've got this kind of I call it a mixed neuroassociation that comes in with money and sales, and you've got to fix that in your business, right? Because your business is these are two really core functions. The question I want to ask you today, right, and I really want you to think about this, is are you essential to somebody, right? Is if somebody wants what you have, are you like the best person to go to? And if you really in your heart feel like that's true, right? Like, you know what? I am. I'm really good at what I do. And if somebody wants what I do, they really probably should come to me. How do they come to you if they've never heard of you, right? If they've never done that. Now, it might be that you just don't know how to get in front of them, in which case, we can certainly help you solve that. But it might be that you're not sure you should. And that's a challenge because it comes from a scarcity mindset, right? It comes from this idea that there's not enough out there, right? That you don't deserve it for some reason, or that if you had it, it would come at the cost of somebody else. But you know how the economy works? The economy works is that one person's purchase becomes somebody else's job. And then that job requires a wage. And then when they get a wage, they make a purchase. And so the natural thing when the economy's tough, and I see it in a lot of people, is they start doing barter stuff or they start, doing things for free or they think, oh, I won't charge for this. But the problem is if you don't charge for that or you don't do that, then there's no purchase. And if there's no purchase, there's no work. And if there's no work, there's no paycheck. And it becomes this vicious cycle that actually holds the economy where it is until somebody has the guts to stand up and start pushing the economy again. Right? It's not like you're hoarding money. So like when you come in and you get money, it allows you to purchase things that you find are valuable. And in an economy where things are tight, you still have needs. You still have values. You still enjoy things about life and you still put your money towards those things. And when you do, when you put your money towards something that's valuable, you create a job for somebody else, which then creates disposable income, which then allows them. So as long as what we're doing is valuable, we should be pushing it. We should be selling it because that is the only way to get through this thing. So, I've had like a lot of time this year to really think about what people need. And I'm changing what I'm doing with clients. I'm really helping them figure out their sales processes, really helping them figure out how to create a really good offer, right? That really kind of hits those needs and values and show them how to put it out there. And I'm trying to do that in a way that doesn't cost a lot of money or any money at all. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want more disposable income. Because if you have more disposable income, you're going to purchase things that are valuable to you. And if you purchase things that are valuable to you, you're going to create a job for somebody else, which then gives them a paycheck and they can go out and purchase things. So I'm on the same side as you, and I really want to be able to give this. It's the reason I wrote the book, right? From burnout to exponential growth. And the reason I wrote that book was to give my 12 favorite strategies to people. By the way, if you want a copy of that book, just write book in the comments and I will send you a contact so you can go get that book, right? It's 12 of my favorite strategies and they don't cost a cent in order to actually implement so that you can go out there and fix what you've got, right? But we do have to get over our fear, our ickiness with sales and marketing, right? We can't just rely and throw money at it anymore because most of the people taking the money, they don't have that offer. These things work synchronicity, like there's synchronicity to how these work together. And you can't just throw money at a marketing agency if you haven't got your sales systems fixed or you haven't actually figured out the offer or why people would want it or your positioning statement. It's not going to work. At the same thing, you can't just throw money at sales agents if you haven't figured out the other two. Otherwise, you got salespeople like crossing their fingers because they got no one to call, right? You've got to go figure out that system first. And I know that's certainly where myself and the currently three coaches that work with Elevate Rise, that's what we're doing for people is that we're really kind of diving in on this area, right? You deserve it. Your business deserves it, right? Now, there might be the odd person that's watching this video where they look at it and they go, you know what? We're really not very good at what we do. And we really aren't the most valuable thing on the planet. And for you, you've got a much different problem. In fact, you got a much harder problem, right? But if you're really good at what you do and you provide unparalleled value to the customers that ask you to do it, then you deserve to figure out how to go sell in a market like this. You deserve to go figure out how to market in a market like this, right? You deserve these things. And I'd like to be able to help you, right? So what I'm going to do for anybody that wants the help, if they want to reach out, is we're going to analyze how your business currently works. And I'm going to show you, where are your leaky buckets? Where are the things where it's the energy's leaking out of the business and you just haven't got those systems in place to be able to do this? Where are those things? I'm also going to spend some time looking at where are the log jams? Where are you actually creating a really good result, but there's a log jam in the business that's keeping you from capitalizing on it, right? It's like you planted the seed, the plant wants to grow, but you put a potted plant over the thing and it's not getting any sunlight. So where are those things in your business, right? I want to help you guys grow. Now, this little guy here is starting to fall asleep in my arms, so I'm gonna have to let you go really soon. But I want you to really think about this, right? This economy does not have to suck for you. It could actually be the greatest thing in your business because it forces you to put systems in place that weren't there before. that maybe didn't necessarily need to be there because all boats rise on the tide, right? But as the tide goes down, which is what we're facing, the tide's going out now. There are boats that don't have the right systems in place that are going to end up grounded. They're going to end up stuck, right? And then they're going to end up really stuck there. They're going to get wedged into the ground. When the tide comes back in, they're going to sink. Okay. That's if they survive to the point of doing that. If you are not selling and marketing in today's economy, you will die. And I know that's a horrible message, but it's the true one, right? If you're waiting for the phone to ring, you're going to die as a business. Okay. So don't let that, as a leader, do not let that happen to your business. I implore you for that. I'm here to help. That's what I do. So, by all means, ask any questions you want in this chat. So, you throw any questions in that. I will work every night to get you an answer. So, every night I see a new question in there, I will get you the answer you need, or I'll get you the help you help, or I'll point you in the right direction of where you can find that information. Okay. My job is to serve in a market like this. Much love, and I will talk to you guys soon. Say bye, Finn. Say bye. Good night.